Robinson, and I'm a recording engineer and producer, and this year was lucky enough to be nominated for my work for Victoria Monet's last album, Jaguar 2, or I should say debut album. The biggest challenge we faced during the recording process, it's probably gonna sound a bit cliche, but we started the process in spring of 2020, kind of right in the middle of COVID lockdowns here in Los Angeles, which is where the majority of the album was recorded. We had a lot of sessions that would get booked, and then somebody, would have to cancel for various reasons, and just trying to keep the momentum and week to week, day to day, figuring out not just professionally but personally, like how to navigate the whole thing was I think a bit awkward for me anyways. And but we made it work, and eventually we're able to kind of consistently be in the studio and make it happen. I have a lot of really great memories from the recording process. I would say one of my favorites, though, was the work that we did with Earth, Wind and Fire. We're able to get in the studio with Philip Bailey, who sang on the record with Victoria, and then Verdine White played bass. There's just so much legacy with those guys and their work in Earth, Wind and Fire, and I think anytime you can be in the room with legends like that, you just try to soak it up as best you can. One of the things that I'm the most proud of, which is gonna sound a little corny, but I'm really proud of my marriage. Being able to stay with my wife during this last few years has been really important to me, and she's been kind of my rock. She gave me support and freedom to pursue this to the fullest extent through some pretty rocky, bumpy roads here and there, and it's not always been smooth. It's not always been, every year we haven't gone to the Grammys, so it's like to be able to take her to that event next month is going to be a pretty special thing for me. And for somebody who's inspiring to be where I'm at now, I would have a couple of pieces of advice. The key to your success and your future is going to be all in your attitude. And I've found that over the years to be something I've reflected on a lot, and I think it's incredibly true. I mean, you're in an industry that is a grind, and I started out in my mid-20s kind of resetting and going and cleaning toilets at a studio because I wanted to figure out how to do this, So I took out the trash, I got people their food, and you have to just kind of, at certain points, swallow your pride and do the dirty work, and to keep your attitude looking forward and to not get too prideful and walk away from something like that is not always easy. The second one I would say, which is kind of more about being in the room as an engineer, and I think this is vital, being an engineer to me is really about, especially when you're a tracking engineer, it's about vibe. So when you're in the room, a lot of people kind of put a lot of their focus on the technical aspect, which obviously is super important. You don't really get very far if you don't know how to run a compressor or run Pro Tools or any of these kinds of things. Vibe means that you're keeping the creativity flowing in the room and you're never being a distraction to people. Some people that you develop a relationship with are going to be more open to input. Other times, vibe means being quiet and sitting back and letting everybody else do their thing, I think a recording session can only tolerate so many voices, and sometimes you have to just know when your voice isn't needed. And that means you just capture the ideas of the people that are there and do your best to, translate their ideas into sound.